Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of the 3 Count. I'm getting loose, War Machine MJ.
And I'm just cool in the cut, Rodimus Prime.
What?
Cool in the cut.
Cool in the cut? What does that even mean?
Just chilling.
Did you just make that up?
I did.
That explains why it sucked. Anyway, we're here today to talk about Raw and Smackdown. More importantly, post Clash of Champions. I had to remember the pay-per-view.
Yeah, what were you finna say?
No, it's just I had a hard time remembering the pay-per-view because it was just so
bland.
It was a pay-per-view. I'll say that.
Nothing special.
No, nothing special. Anyway, but yeah, this was the finals of the King of the Ring on Monday, and on Tuesday, the episode we just watched, it was the coronation of King Baron Corbin. And
his Toys R Us gear. We'll talk more about that later.
His Party City props.
Jesus Christ, that shit was cheap. But anyway, we are going to start off with Monday Night Raw as they were live from the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. Shout out to everybody at the university except their football team because they're trash.
Yeah, shout out to everybody disappointed with their football team.
Oh, Jesus Christ, they got to play Florida this Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be posting my picks on Twitter since I'm not doing a podcast this week. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Raw. We're going to start off with the Universal Champion Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah, Mr. Uncool himself. Anyway, yeah, started the show off. Blah, blah, blah. Braun Strowman and I lost the tag team titles. Blah, blah, blah. I'm still Universal Champion.
Blah, blah, blah. Braun Strowman's a big, strong guy. Blah, blah, blah. I got respect. Blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up.
Blah, blah, blah. Bray Wyatt attacked. And then cue up another episode of Firefly Funhouse.
Can we just say that was mother effing incredible?
Yeah, it was the best way to cut a Seth Rollins promo, you know. Have somebody more interesting start talking.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bray Wyatt came on the screen and
he basically was just sending a message to...
yeah, but he had a rhetoric about friends. Friends forgive, and then he said the Fiend doesn't forgive.
Yeah, he said the Fiend doesn't forgive nor forget.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like we said, he's sending a message to Seth Rollins as they will face off at Hell in a Cell October 6th.
In fact, that's how he closed it out. He said, see you at Hell, Seth.
Yeah. Oh, we'll talk more about the ending later.
Delightful.
Yeah. We started with a tag team summit. It was the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Revival, say yeah.
Yeah, top guys in the house.
Yeah. And Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, who are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. But before anything could go down, Braun Strowman marched his way to the ring and said, somebody's going to catch this fade, somebody's going to catch these hands.
Now, what's interesting is he beat the hell out of all 3 of these men. And I say 3 because Robert Roode got out of the way and Dolph Ziggler just kept eating his portion of it.
Yeah, and as far as the Revival, they were pretty much DOA. So like we said, Braun Strowman marched down to the ring, gave somebody some fades, and that was that. Then we move on to 6-man tag team action as the OC took on the Viking Raiders and Cedric Alexander.
Sorry, I was looking over a Chinese menu.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier. There's pretty much all Chinese, no dessert. I was like, well, shit.
Well, duh. Anyway, yeah, not much to say about this other than, yeah, the OC just ran rugshot over all 3 men.
Yeah, you know, AJ was doing this thing. Gallows and Anderson brawled with the Viking Raiders. Cedric, he came out very aggressive in this match to begin with,
yeah.
Being he has his beef with AJ. But it wasn't enough because in the end, after the match, AJ Styles laid him out with a mid-rope Styles clash.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it.
Next, we had the King of the Ring finals between Baron Corbin, Chad Gable, which emphasized the point we have been saying all along. Baron Corbin is underrated if you put him in the right match with the right opponent.
Yes, and this was the right opponent, Chad Gable, who basically came in as the obvious favorite. You and Malcolm said Corbin, right?
Yeah, we said Corbin.
I said Chad Gable.
We went with the smart money.
Yeah. And
You dummy.
anyway, can we just say this was a pretty damn good match?
Oh, this was a fantastic match.
I wouldn't be surprised if this match got at least a good 15, close to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like you said, Corbin gets in there. He moves around with a big guy. Nobody cares. Somebody like Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, Chad Gable, he can put on one fantastic ass match, and he did just that. But both guys, despite who you had winning and losing, had the crowd eating out of the palm of their hands. Because, I mean, every person was at the edge of their seat, every move, everything they did. But in the end, it was pretty much an end of days for Chad Gable, as Baron freaking Corbin is your king of the ring. And you know what? Despite me personally not wanting Corbin to win, I can accept it. I can enjoy it. So we'll see how it goes as we talk about the SmackDown review. So again, Baron Corbin is your 2019 king of the ring, and we'll get this match 5 stars.
Next up was and this is just silly to say, it was Maria's gender reveal party hosted by the Street Profits.
Now, they mentioned that this was going to be a party. You know, you had people like Kurt Hawkins, Titus O'Neil, so on and so forth, Ricochet. Jesus Christ. Why Ricochet? Why? And then they go to commercial, then they come back, and then they reveal who the baby, what the sex of the baby is. And it's a boy.
It's a boy.
But.
Who's the daddy?
Ricochet.
One and only baby daddy.
And Mike Kanellis.
What a schmuck.
We'll save that for in the end of who made the surprise return. We'll save that. Basically, he said, you know what? How are you the father of my baby? You want to fight? Let's go fight. Let's go to the ring.
Yep.
And they went to the ring, and Ricochet's like, whoa. Stop. You don't have to do this. And eventually this turned into a match.
Yeah, Ricochet talked him down, told him not to do this, and what'd he do anyways? Beat his ass.
Yeah. Ricochet was also the one giving out fades. And then Maria came out, and she just said basically the same rhetoric she's been saying for weeks, how she tried to embarrass him, how she tried to toughen him up, how he's not the man that she married. And she said the real father of my unborn child is
Rusev Machka.
Jesus Christ, bro. They use Rusev for this ish, and he comes out there with his 80s porn star mustache.
Yeah.
Now, if you saw on social media, he showed his new look. I think it's alright. It's not bad, but he does look like a mid-70s, 80s porn star.
I don't like the mustache.
And
because we've seen him just like straight up with beard.
yeah, he looks totally better with beard.
Yeah.
No homo. But anyway.
But his physique, he's cut.
Yeah, I mean, for the time that he's had off from WWE, he's been really, hitting the weights up.
Yeah.
And can I just say, I guess from us watching it on TV, the crowd reaction was just, we don't give a F.
Yeah, compared to Harper's return at Clash of Champions, like a whole 24 hours later, the crowd went ballistic for Harper, and then Rusev comes out, it's just,
I mean, I even posted on Twitter, I said, excuse me, Mike is basically WWE's whipping boy. For those of you who watch the product, those of you who watch Raw, you know that Mike Kanellis is basically WWE's whipping boy at this point. They had his wife go out there almost every single week, embarrass him on TV. And Rusev, honestly, I can't wait till his contract is up. I just wish he'd go elsewhere, because I don't know about you, I don't know about y'all watching this or when it goes up. I'm just not feeling it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what's interesting to note is he came out there without Lana.
Yeah, Lana's been doing some stuff on social media with her time off, but I digress.
Anyway, yeah.
Rusev won by submission. Then, during the show, who do we have with R-Truth and Carmella.
Yeah, apparently R-Truth and Carmella are going on a tour of Tennessee with Knoxville County Mayor Glenn Jacobs.
Yeah, better known to the WWE world as Kane.
Two separate people. They made sure to punctuate that on commentary.
Well, they did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wait, that comes off? Oh snap!
Yeah,
Continue.
that's a piece of table. Don't damage it. Anyway. So Jacobs takes R-Truth over to
Knox County.
They're in Knox County. Yes.
But he called it Knoxville.
Whatever. They were at the University of Tennessee. I was trying to think of the stadium.
Oh yeah, where the Volunteers play.
Yeah, where the Volunteers lose. Anyway, took them to the stadium, and then he pulled this random officer to the side, said, "Yep, I sworn him in myself. He's not just an officer; he's also a referee."
And he took his referee shirt off, and when R-Truth tried to bail, he said, "Thank you, Mr. President." And what do you call the referee?
I think he still called him officer. Anyway, he smacked into the field goal post. Glenn Jacobs pinned him, and while he was running with the belt, he chanted to himself, "I still got it."
And he just and the crowd just laughed that up. I mean, it was pretty funny. But Mayor Glenn Jacobs, but I put Kane on the notes, won the 24/7 title. Next, we move on to Rey Mysterio as he took on Cesaro.
Yeah, this match didn't get a whole lot of time, but yeah, these guys are minimalists. They tore it up.
Yeah, and it's just pretty sad how Cesaro is just losing week after week after week after week. He's another person who's WWE's whipping boy, unfortunately, because he's so much better than this. Not to take away from what he did with Ray on Monday, but I mean,
I wouldn't count him as a whipping boy because within the past couple of months, he actually racked up a victory compared to Mike Kanellis.
that is true.
Because who can forget that unbelievable match he had against Ilya Dragunov at TakeOver Cardiff?
Yeah, I mean, he did put Dragunov over like $1 trillion.
Put him over like Rover.
Yeah, but Rey Mysterio with a code red, like a flip over powerbomb or something.
I believe so.
Yeah. Anyway, Rey got the victory. Next, we move on to tag team action as Sasha Banks, the boss, and her best friend, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley, took on the tag team champions, Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. Now, before we get to this match, I've been seeing on social media how Sasha and Alexa, apparently they still have real life beef with each other. Because apparently Nia Jax retweeted a fan's assessment of it, saying how Sasha got a little aggressive with Alexa. Like when she was on the outside, she tried to swing on her, and Alexa ducked, and she got kicked in the stomach by Sasha. But I mean, that's outside of ring.
That probably what happened during commercial break, because when we left for commercial break during the match, there were 4 women in this match.
Yeah.
When we came back from commercial, Alexa Bliss was gone.
Yeah. Maybe she had some injury.
They didn't explain it too well on commentary. They said, "Oh, she had an injury, so we took her to the back."
Yeah.
That could have had something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, it's well known that these two don't like each other, but we're not here to talk about that. This match was okay.
Yeah, it was all right because it was a desperate attempt for Nikki Cross to win against the odds. Be it her taking on Sasha and Bayley. However, she did succumb to the bank statement. She got repossessed or whatever analogy you want to use there. Sasha and Bayley got the win. However, I believe they went to put the boots to Nikki Cross.
Yeah, they grabbed a couple chairs, and then out came
my future ex-wife,
Becky Lynch, the man.
the man.
She came out with a chair of her own. I tell you what, why don't they just have weapons for their match? We'll talk more about that later for Hell in a Cell.
Anyway, while Becky and Sasha were having a standoff, Bayley was she got a chair of her own, and she was about to assist her best friend when who came out next? Woo!
Ooh, Charlotte Flair in her high heels. She could barely make it down to the ramp.
Yeah, she took her sweet time getting halfway down the ramp, throwing her leg up for a big boot, connecting with Bayley. Meanwhile, Sasha and Becky went to town on each other, Becky getting the better of it.
Yeah, and in the end, Charlotte and Becky basically had a stare down with chairs in their hands. Later on after the match, Sasha said, "Look, I'm here to get the winner's check. I'm here to challenge you at Hell in a Cell, but this time I want it in."
No. She said, "I challenge you at Hell in a Cell." Becky said, "I want you in Hell in a Cell."
Yeah. And Sasha said, well, before that, Sasha said, "Your move, bitch."
Yeah.
And then that's when Becky accepted. So it is official at Hell in a Cell. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship inside Hell in a Cell.
The second women's Hell in a Cell match.
Yes, and Becky's first.
Becky's first, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Sasha and Charlotte the first go around.
Yeah. But after that, R-Truth, he won his baby back.
Yeah, he is now a 16-time 24/7 champion. He's the Ric Flair of the 24/7 championship division.
Yes.
I was gonna do the woo, but yeah.
Yeah.
What's up? There we go.
Yeah. Like we said, Becky accepted Sasha's challenge for Hell in a Cell. Then we move on to Lacey Evans versus Dana Brooke. Not much to say here. I did like the aggressiveness from Dana Brooke.
Yeah, it was something.
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious Lacey Evans was going to win. Basically, she was sending a message to Natalya. She put on the sharpshooter, but she bent down and looked like a one-legged Boston crab. I mean, I could understand, like, she's tall, I guess.
I know, but the way she applied it, you know how crappy John Cena's STF looks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the equivalent of that.
Well, I'd say Cena has her beat because it's just like when he hooks his...
Well, I'm not making it a competition.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it was a crappy sharpshooter.
Yeah, it did, and Dana Brooke tapped out. Afterwards, Lacey gave a kiss to her daughter, who was front row at the show. So,
that's nice.
Yeah, kudos to her.
And in the main event, we had Seth Rollins taking on Robert Roode.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they put Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler together because Paul Heyman believes that Robert Roode could be doing something.
And he's not lying.
Yeah, the man's got an eye for talent.
Yeah. I mean, Cedric, Robert Roode, who else?
He knows Ricochet's over like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Heyman's got a mind for the business. That's why he's been in the game for so long.
Yep.
But anyway, Dolph Ziggler interfered, and Seth Rollins won by DQ. Then afterwards, the OC came down to add insult to injury, and they were just beating down Seth like crazy. And I know you didn't care because they were just putting the boots to Seth. Seth could just barely get any offense in.
Okay, to be honest, I've been falling asleep on this couch just throughout the program. I even fell asleep during SmackDown. But it was a Seth Rollins match. I really did not care.
Yeah, but afterwards, Kane. Yes, Kane. Crowd gave him a huge reaction. He came down to assist Seth. He took out the OC, took out Roode and Ziggler. And before he could let anything else happen, who popped up?
The Fiend.
Yes, the Fiend.
Let him in.
He took out Kane, which was very shocking. And then he just crawled over to Seth Rollins as Rollins was in the corner, just trying to catch his breath, like, what just happened?
And you could just smell the sexual tension.
Yeah, he's like a little kid that just peed on himself or whatever. And basically, yeah, the Fiend is sending a message to Seth. Let me in, and I'm going to take your Universal Championship.
See you in hell.
Bye!
Next, we move on to SmackDown from hot Atlanta, Georgia, where we kicked off the show with It's a New Day. Yes, it is.
Taking on FTRKO. Say yeah.
Voices?
I guess. I don't know. Anyway, you know what? They should just come out as a trio, FTRKO. This was a pretty long match. They got a good, 20 minutes or so?
Yeah, they fought through 2 commercial breaks.
Yeah, and the New Day ended up getting the victory. And then, out of nowhere, who pops up?
Brock Lesnar!
With his mini caveman beard looking like he just woke up from a good nap. Looked like he's been sleeping for a whole month.
Yeah, it looked like he hibernated.
Yeah, I can imagine. He's been hibernating since SummerSlam. Anyway, Paul Heyman come out there. He said, Mr. Kingston, my client has informed me to tell you that he is challenging you for the WWE Championship on the very first episode, the premiere of SmackDown on Fox October 4th. And Kofi said, you know what? I won the title at WrestleMania. I made it clear I'm a fighting champion. As far as your challenge is concerned, I accept. And when Brock went to go stick his hand out to shake it, he basically bum rushed him and hit him with an F5, and that was it.
Yeah.
So it is official. Friday, October 4th, the very first episode of SmackDown Live, the debut of SmackDown on Fox. Brock Lesnar will challenge Kofi Kingston for the WWE title, and like I told this guy, it's basically in the bag that Brock is going to win. Kofi's going to drop that belt like crazy.
I find it more surprising that Brock Lesnar is going to fight for free on TV.
And they did mention that it's the first time in 15 years he's wrestled on SmackDown.
In 15 years, the next big thing comes back home.
Yeah, and his debut on Fox. So again, that is official.
Next, we had an interview where Michael Cole sat down and interviewed Eric Rowan. I say interview, but it wound up being Eric Rowan talking in circles.
Basically, Michael tried to ask him about Roman Reigns. He never answered the question because he said, Michael, you need to lower that tone in your voice. You will not disrespect me. No one will disrespect me again.
Yeah, he got asked why he did it, and his answer was, "Oh, I was just trying to scare Roman." And then Michael Cole just shouted, "Scare him? You almost killed him."
Yeah, and he kept asking him about Roman. He never answered the question. So I was looking at this like, what was the point of this interview again?
Yeah, there was no point. Next, we had a pointless match between Ali and the Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, with his buddy, his sidekick, Sami Zayn, just yapping on the mic. And basically, they cornered him, and this wasn't even a match. This was basically a no contest because Shinsuke hit him with a Kinshasa, and that's basically how it ended.
Yeah, that's it. Next, before we went to commercial, we saw Kevin Owens going down to have a seat at ringside, and when Shane was going to go out and address it, he got served.
Well, before that, who was that? John Cone?
Yes, John
He
Cone.
walked into the ring, and he walked into the locker room. He said, excuse me, somebody's here to see you, and oh, Kevin Owens is here. And Shane was like, I know, I'm looking at the TV. That was so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, why would you say that? The dude is looking at the TV.
Maybe he wasn't looking at TV. Maybe he was looking at his phone. I mean, John Cone's just doing his job, man.
Well, I can't knock him for that. I mean, he's doing what he's told. And then, as you mentioned, he walked out.
He got served.
He got served. And Shane was like, what the F is this? Okay.
Yeah, we came back from commercial. Shane comes out there, and Kevin Owens has the best facial expressions while this whole thing is going on.
Yeah.
Because come back from commercial, and he's the guy yelling, "Woo, let's go SmackDown."
I hope that wasn't him.
That was him.
I just hope, because like you said, we come back from commercial and you heard, "Let's go SmackDown!" God, I hope that wasn't KO. Anyway, Shane called him into the ring to talk about the situation. Basically, he's been served with a wrongful termination lawsuit for $25 million.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin Owens said he's tired of fighting. You know, he's tried hurting him. He's tried being nice. He's tried helping him, but he wants to hurt him, and he wants to hurt him where it hurts the most: the wallet and his pride, and maybe his beanbags. Anyway, yeah, basically Kevin Owens said, yeah, it's not just about the money, because if you read, if I win, I get the chance to stand in the ring, look you in the eye and say, Shane McMahon, you're fired.
And the way Shane just looked like,
his blood ran cold.
yeah, like basically he got a taste of his own medicine, because he even mentioned that when KO hit a referee, he got fined $100K. When Shane did it, he got away with it. So basically he got a taste of his own medicine.
Hope I didn't spit on you.
What?
Hope I didn't spit on you.
No,
Okay,
you're good.
All right.
Then we had Charlotte Flair, woo, being introduced to the ring by Atlanta's own 1/3 of the hit group Migos,
Who?
Offset.
Who?
Yeah, that guy.
Who?
The Ric Flair drip.
I've not listened to that song.
Oh.
I don't know who Migos is. I don't know who Offset is. I
Oh,
don't listen to rap, remember.
I know. But anyway, Anyway, yeah, he come out with his custom-made robe. And she took on Sasha Banks, who was accompanied by Bayley.
Yeah.
This was an okay match, I guess. Charlotte won by DQ.
Yeah, because I think she had the figure 4 locked in and Bayley just ran interference.
Yeah, and they were putting the boots to her. And then out of nowhere, surprisingly, Carmella.
Well, you know what? It's good to see Carmella back in the ring.
Yeah, I heard she took some time off because of a health scare.
Yeah, they never disclosed what it was, but they gave her time off to be with her friends and family, just recuperate. So
Yeah.
good to see her back, even though it was a tad weird seeing her.
Yeah, because Bayley was just like, yo, what are you doing? We're buddies.
Yeah.
But she kicked Sasha in the face. She took out Bayley. And, yeah, Carmella and Charlotte stood in the ring, which was awkward because it's like Becky's involved, and this day, Carmella's involved. What next?
Yeah, and they
Alicia Fox?
God, no. They even made a point on commentary that Carmella and Bayley are friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess they're friends no more.
guess not. Next, we had the coronation of possibly the second most entertaining king of the ring we've had.
Oh, my God.
King Corbin.
Bruh. I will say, Baron Corbin came out there with a nice suit.
Nice 3-piece suit.
And those shoes, those brown shoes. I would actually wear those shoes.
For once, he was dressed on point. Anyway,
He didn't look like a overdone bus driver or an Applebee's waiter.
he didn't look like a substitute teacher. Anyway, yeah, they stuck the crown, the cape, the scepter, the throne, everything. All those Party City props, which he actually looked the part.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, he came out there looking like he worked for corporate America. Looked like he upgraded his life, bossed his life up. And then he called out Chad Gable.
Yeah, to make a bunch of short jokes at his height expense.
Yeah, he said it was very big enough for you to come out here. I know your pride is feeling a little small.
But you can hold your head up high.
Yeah, and Chad...
And even though you felt a bit short.
Yeah, and Chad Gable put the boots to him. He was another person this week that was giving out fades. Basically, was everybody giving out fades this week?
I mean, that's...
Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Rusev, Chad Gable, I guess Carmella.
That's the way it should go, not helpless idiots. It should be, fades. Like, Chad Gable had so much fade in him, he snapped the cheap-ass throne.
Bruh, I laughed so hard. The seat, the throne got broke.
He faded that cheap-ass scepter. Like, he hit Corbin one good time with it, and that head just flew off.
It flew like in the third row.
Yeah.
And then he tore up the scepter. He stomped on the crown. It looked like something you'd put on what you call that? A tiara?
Yeah, tiara, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a tiara from a Disney birthday party. Bruh, I was sitting here just dying laughing. That was, bro, he made that stuff look so cheap. I'm like, where'd you get that? Toys R Us or Party City?
I think backstage reports were it was Party City.
Look like they got that stuff from Toys R Us out the box.
Going back to Corbin's promo, though, I enjoyed those short jokes. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in a way they're kind of going overboard. Because, I mean, yeah, Corbin is a foot taller than Chad Gable, but I kind of get it.
You know where they went overboard, aside from that part? When Baron Corbin gave Finn Balor a playhouse. They have jumped the shark already. This is like peanuts compared to that. Speaking of peanuts compared
I don't
to
even
that,
want to talk about that because that. Continue. Go.
speaking of peanuts compared to stuff, we had Heavy Machinery versus B-Team. Spoiler alert, I fell asleep.
Heavy Machinery won. No need to talk much about that. Let's talk about what happened at the end of the show. Daniel Bryan came out there. He talked about Eric Rowan. He said, you know, he's my friend. He feels like nobody trusted him. Nobody believed in him. I believed in him. I made him my partner. I made him my friend. We won the tag team titles. Eric Rowan comes out there and said, you're not my friend. You're not going to disrespect me anymore. You talk about how you saw something in me. You didn't see nothing in me. And then he said, you know what? If you're going to do something about it, then Eric, do it. And who comes up from behind? Luke Harper. And they put the boots to Daniel Bryan. Out comes Roman Reigns to make the save, but he got laid out too. And a bunch of fake security guards, a bunch of enhancement talent, referees almost got taken out. They were trying to basically unassemble the ring, the mat. They put Daniel Bryan through a table. They basically just laid waste to these two. Just basically tore everything up. So basically they weren't playing. Just to sum all this up, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper will not be held back or disrespected, and that's basically how we ended SmackDown. Any thoughts and analysis on this week's shows?
Raw felt pretty good. It was a decent B show.
Yeah, I gave Raw overall a B.
SmackDown felt like a B minus C show.
I'd say A minus for me.
I mean, it had some enjoyable moments, but there was a lot of stuff that didn't really help.
Yeah, but overall, we felt like both shows were pretty good this week. So this will basically be leading up within the upcoming weeks as far as Hell in a Cell, SmackDown on Fox, the draft.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks away from Fox on SmackDown.
Yeah. The first night will be on October 11th on SmackDown, and the second night will be on the 14th on Monday Night Raw. And they mentioned multiple times.
Wait, hold on. They're going with SmackDown first on the draft, then Raw?
Yeah, they mentioned that.
That's weird.
Because remember, SmackDown, I guess, because SmackDown's on the 4th, and then...
Well, no, I mean, they're starting with SmackDown on 1 week, and then the next week it's Raw. Why not do it Raw, then SmackDown on the same week?
I have no idea.
That's
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That would have made sense because the 7th is on that Monday. Yeah. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Do it that way because they kept mentioning that the second SmackDown on Fox is going to be in the new Golden State Warriors arena. Yeah. Then they're going to end in Las Vegas on Raw on the 14th. So I don't know.
Just weird.
Anyway, yeah, the draft, October 11th. Second night, the final night will be on the 14th in Las Vegas on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, and apparently it's just Raw and SmackDown. No NXT, 205, NXT UK, none of that.
That sucks.
Well, they're treating NXT like a third brand, a proper third brand.
Yeah, some people still call it a developmental brand. It's beyond developmental at this point.
At this point, the only developmental is the Florida house show loop.
Yeah.
Apparently, people have been asking for Triple H to bring back FCW and use that as a developmental system.
I feel like that would kind of be too much. Maybe it's just me.
I mean, he considered he said, I believe it was he'd have to see how everything goes.
Yeah. I mean, if everything goes right, then why not? I mean, FCW is basically what NXT is today, but on a bigger platform and a bigger scale.
No, not really.
Why do you say that?
Well,
if you think about it like this, they've told the history about FCW and how basically you might as well say they wrestled in front of like 50 people the size of this living room. compared to Full Sail, where they wrestle in front of like what 300, 400 people.
Yeah, like FCW was a powerhouse of problems compared to NXT.
Well, yeah, that is true.
In fact, they had an entire division dedicated to Iron Man matches.
I don't remember much about FCW, but I heard about that.
Yeah, because that's where they kicked up the whole Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose feud.
Yeah, and people like Roman Reigns got through there, Sasha Banks, so on and so forth.
Yeah, so I mean, I can get behind FCW, you know, just farming, you know, new talent.
Yeah, I mean, some of the people on the NXT roster could benefit from going down there.
Yeah.
I mean, even people we're not fans of. I'll even say Conan Reeves.
No, definitely Conan Reeves.
We don't need to talk much about him. The finest.
But I would reserve
Trash.
NXT for the folks that already have that level of polish that just need a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, people like
The Undisputed Era, of course.
Vanessa Bourne.
Johnny Wrestling himself.
Yeah. Hell, even Shane Thorne.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see how everything goes. And they mentioned time and time again that the wild card rule is officially done. It should have never happened in the first freaking place.
Yeah.
But other than that, take it away.
Yeah, plug time. If you, I don't know, I'm not really inspired to draw up a new one, but if you hate his ugly ass face but love his opinions, he has a podcast.
Yes.
Where he talks about all sorts of bullshit and crap that doesn't even matter.
Yeah, well, some people, well, it matters to some people, but whatever. I digress.
Yeah, how big's your fan base?
Yeah, it's pretty big, I guess.
Yeah, you listening to your own recordings does not count.
I don't listen to my recordings. I don't like to hear my voice.
Could have fooled me.
I really don't like to hear my voice.
Anyway, yeah, he has a podcast, Prime Talk with Rodimus Prime on the Castbox app.
Yeah, all 8 episodes are up right now. No podcast this week as we're still on vacation, but I will be posting my picks for college football and NFL. Week 4 for college football, week 3 for NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. Week 3 is, and every good player is down at this point.
Yeah. Even in college football, but not as bad as NFL. But we're not here to talk about that.
Actually, we mentioned it earlier. Tennessee and Florida. That's going to be interesting without Felipe in there.
Yeah. Some big games as far as college football. Auburn and Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Southern Miss and Alabama, even though Alabama's basically going to win. Notre Dame at Georgia. God, that's going to be a good one. 3 versus 7.
Yeah.
Let's see, Kentucky versus Missouri. Basically, a lot of SEC teams are playing each other this week. Utah versus USC Trojans. I think USC can get the upset against 10th ranked Utah, but I could be wrong. But anyway, yeah, some good games on this weekend. Hopefully nobody gets hurt like they do in the NFL.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, I'm Rodimus Prime.
And I'm still the greatest second place champion in the United States of War Machine, MJ, and we will see you guys next time. I forgot to play the outro. Whatever.
Yeah.